Hey, this is just a quick. I don't know if it's people will consider this like a encouraging word or anything, but you know what? I just cannot resist this one because this needs to be said. Um, the racial politics in religion, it is a total deception, and as some say, it's a total trick of the devil. And this is reaching like a crescendo. I mean, it's reaching um an elevated height. People are more concentrated on um, racial politics and racial religion, and this is a trick to me. You might not agree with me on it, but in my opinion, people they're gonna face a lot of trouble and a lot of evil and be judged together. Maybe that's something that's just gonna happen. Um, but let me make this clear. There is one God, and nobody who is concentrating on racial and political, religion and politics, nobody can tell me that the one God is telling people to go out and to murder others, because that is not that is not something that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob would tell anybody to do. So nobody can convince me that you are hearing from God if you are going out and you're using your religion, you're using your race, you're using your politics to hate somebody and to go and murder them. Um, it is only one God. And people I have noticed is getting really, really obsessed. And it's been an uptick of obsession with people's skin color, with how the judgment of skin color and things are. And this is going to reach to a point of breaking, because people are basing their own opinions, they're basing their own understanding on the judgment of others, and they want to make themselves out to be the best people, whether they be black, whether they be white, whether they be yellow. And this stuff is going to have a breaking point. People need to put a screeching halt to this, because the amazing thing about this whole thing is people think that God is pleased with this stuff, and He's not. He's not, because if He was, this breaks the commandments, and it breaks the commandment of when God is telling people to love your neighbor as yourself and thou shalt not kill. It's breaking that commandment. And people need to open up their eyes, and they need to really consider their opinions, where they stand, and what kind of religion that they're teaching. Because if you're teaching a religion of hatred towards other people, you're probably not hearing from the right God anyway. And so there's a lot of cults out there. A lot of cults will tell you, "Hey, God told me to kill you because you are this or you are that, and you're gonna die because your skin color is this or that." Then you're not hearing from God, but you are hearing from a little God. You're hearing from the God of this world. You're hearing from the Satan. You're hearing from Samuel. You're hearing from Beelzebub. That's what you're hearing it from, because the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob gave commandments, and the one thing that He cannot do, it is to lie. So if your religion is telling you to go kill somebody, and that somebody's unholy, and that you're going to kill your brother, you're going to kill your sister, you're going to kill your cousin, you're going to kill people because they're a different skin tone than you, well, you better check it. You better check it and make sure you're hearing from the right God, because you're not hearing from the God of Israel. You're not hearing from the God of Abraham. You're not hearing from that God. And I don't, it's the truth. I don't care what you say, because that's calling God Himself. That's calling Him a liar. So you have a kind of like a racial, religion, identity kind of thing going on for yourself. Well, you ain't serving the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and I'm here to tell you that right now. And you need to check it out. Check out what I'm saying. Because if you say that you are serving God and you're basing it on people's skin tone, yeah, you kind of deceived, because of the fact that nations used to be divided not by skin color. They used to be divided by the types of people uh, that are dwelling in a particular land. That skin color thing is a very, very big deception. And the amazing thing about it is a dog can give birth to a litter of puppies and they be different colors, but yet they belong to that same dog. And people don't have enough sense to determine that people in various areas of the world, they belong to those particular countries anyway. People are so heavily, I know this too, people are so heavily too worried about what people of different ethnicities are doing. Namely, a lot of people worrying about what black people are doing, and it's really crazy. It's really crazy. So it's just a lot of racial politics that I'm noticing is on and offline. And somebody better call a screeching halt to this, because this is nuts. It's catering to hate. And I don't care what color you are, this crap is catering to a lot of hate, unnecessary hate. The world is just so mixed up. And namely, Black Americans, you do your genealogies, you're going to find you're mixed with a whole bunch of different peoples. You do your DNA tests. And that's why I'm saying, please do not get caught up into this. Don't get deceived by all of this racial politic crap, because it don't have nothing to do with the God of the Bible. And it just flips me out. The people can sit here and say that God cares about man-made politics. The politics here, the politics that men make on this earth, is evil. It has nothing to do with God, because all kinds of commandments with that politics is being broken. People are breaking rules and saying that it's of God. And this madness, man, it's just total madness. And it needs to stop. People are something else, and they don't consider that when they're doing this, they're lying on the living God. And that doesn't make any sense to me. It shouldn't make any sense to anybody who served God, that people are going to sit here and lie on him. And they are going to be, I really do. I'm a person, I believe that God, that judgment is, because judgment is throughout the Torah, throughout the Bible. Judgment is there. People, I mean, you look at the various stories, I'm mentioning King David, because Saul, he was judged because he didn't do what God told him to do. And what happened to him? What happened to King Saul? Because he disobeyed, the kingdom was ripped from him. That's a judgment. And what happened to Cain and Abel? Cain was marked for murdering his brother, because God didn't even tell him to do that, because he got jealous of his brother. What kind of stuff? And the same thing, it still applies. It applies today. It applies to everybody. Just because you are a certain skin color, you have no special privileges from that. God, in the commandment, he tells us to love everybody, and he tells us don't be murdering people. So how can anybody justify that and say God told them to do it? God don't tell nobody to go murder somebody. I mean, you look in those times in the Old Testament, the only time he did was when there were threats to his chosen people. It's to his chosen people. We can't have replacement theology or anything like that. We can't replace the original things and words of God. But in this modern day and age, how can one justify that? How could you say that God is justifying anybody going out to murder anybody? So anyway, I know it is right for people to protect themselves when they feel threatened by somebody else. Okay. Of course, you're going to protect your family. You're going to protect your friends, if you are threatened. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the heart, the mind, which is the heart. I'm talking about that condition. Is a appearance of somebody, is that encouraging you to hate them? Skin tone, is it encouraging you to hate them? Skin tones change every day, y'all. Skin tones change every day. So you have to get to the root of the problem of what the heck, what religion is telling you that it's okay. You can go out and you can just kill people when we are supposed to be civilized. But the more I'm looking at society and everything, I'm seeing that everybody, they calling themselves civilized, and technology this and technology that, we have this and we have that, we're more civilized than everybody else. It's some type of an arrogance that go along with that. But civilization ain't looking like civilized people. It's actually looking like uncivilized people because of the fact of the greed, of the greediness, of the of everything that people are doing in order to hoard things for themselves. And they could pass by and watch a homeless person eat out of the garbage can and have a wad of cash in their pocket and not do anything about it. Something is wrong with that. That's not a civilized society. Those tribes that are in Brazil, it seems like they take care of their people more than the so-called civilized civilizations. I mean, people are sitting here saying to be greedy is okay, and if you don't fit a certain type of mold, then you are cast out of society as a whole, and you're giving like whatever you call it, you're ignored, like you are nothing, like you're nothing. And it's an unwritten code. How do you call this? A black ball. You're blackball if you don't have certain qualifications for this and that. It could be maybe your skin tone. It could be maybe age discrimination. I've heard of a lot of people saying that. It could be a different things. People will always find something wrong with you in this civilized culture. Everybody claiming that they all civilized. Nah, this technology, to me, it's like giving technology to a caveman, because the thing about being civilized is knowing to love your brother as yourself and to take care of other people around you and not hate people because they could be a certain skin color, and putting it into religion and in politics, and then turning around blaming God, saying God told you to hate somebody, which is a bald-faced lie, because you go back to the commandments, even the hospitality of Abraham. We are not supposed to be doing that to each other. Everybody come from Adam and Eve. Yeah, you know what? Ham, all of the sins he did, but yeah, Cain, all of the sins he did, and all of the other sins that people down the line did, even Samson, or not Samson, or not Samson, but even King David and Saul, the sins that Saul did. Do you see anybody holding those things against the descendants of those people? Have they traced that back? That's my question to you. Have you seen that? You haven't seen that anywhere. But many people are, they're using these racial politics and this religion stuff to try to make themselves be better than other people. And I'm here to tell you, reason I'm doing this video, because I am personally sick of it. If you're sitting here, you're being racist against somebody because of their skin tone, because they're black, because they're white, or what have you. Well, the thing about it is, what makes you any different than the people who you said that did the crap to you? If you really are trying to be justified in all of this, how can you even owe sympathy for it? I don't want to be anything like anybody who did wrong to me. I move away from them. I have nothing to do with people who I think are wronging me. I really, don't want to be in their presence. That's the way that I feel about that. Man, that's the attitude that everybody else should have. But when it comes to killing people, you're killing somebody who was made just like you in the image of God. Whenever you come to hating somebody because of skin tone, you're doing it to somebody who is made in the image of God. And you know what? Each and every person, if everybody's made in the image of God, then you are telling God that you hate him. You know why? Because he created everybody. He created all skin tones. That is a dimension of God that you just simply hate. And you're going to sit there and say you love him. No, you don't. Because you are killing somebody that's made in the image of him. So don't sit there and tell me that you love God when you are harboring hate for somebody because of their skin color. And you are saying your religion, you're saying somebody is your religion or whatever is out to kill somebody. So no, that don't fly right, because it goes against what those commandments was. We are supposed to love each other and teach each other and practice it. So I know a lot of people are like probably screaming at the camera, disagreeing with me. But if you really believe those commandments, you're going to follow them. And of course, defend family, defend. The society is supposed to defend against people who are trying to harm and hurt other people. That is biblical too. You are supposed to defend against evil. But I am talking about general people, ordinary people who are putting a skin color on religion, putting a skin color, calling people Edom, calling the people Rob, calling people that because they simply look different than you. They simply were raised different from you. And you know, all these people, they could be, you know, they could be Israel as well, you know, and not even know it, because the Israelite is not a national, it's not a skin color. It is not a skin color. To me, that's a false doctrine going around giving people an excuse to hate and saying God is justifying this stuff. He's not. He's going by the inward appearance of the heart. Do your heart hate people? You know, because everybody was made in his image. And that's my question. You know, there's a lot of hatred going on, and that's all I see people practicing. And to me, you know what? They're foolish, 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 wasting themselves, wasting their time on things that don't matter, that don't mean anything to God, who created man as a whole. And he goes by the inward part. He doesn't look at the outside appearance. If God is spirit, he's definitely not considering anybody's outside appearance. He's going by what's in your heart and what you're doing and what you're teaching people. Are you standing there teaching people the wrong thing and you're teaching them to hate others? Are you teaching them to murder their brother? That's not following the commandments. And I don't care about anything anybody said, because if you say it is, you're lying on God. That's just plain and simple. Plain and simple. And it's no excuse to lie on God. God did not tell you to hate. God did not tell you to judge people because they look different from you. And you're going to justify it. Well, this race of people did this to me or that to me. Every race of people had done some type of an offense. Some type of an offense. Every race of people have done some type of offense to offend other people. So please spare me that, because everybody have done something wrong. We cannot excuse ourselves, but at the same time, I do understand the anger because of the discrimination, and that anger, that discrimination and all of that stuff, anti-Semitism, all of that stuff, anti this, anti that, it comes from one common source, and it's the evil that's in the world. A lot of people call it Satan. A lot of people call it the devil. That's where the source is coming from. That's where everybody's anger should be focused and drawn towards, because that is the thing that everybody should be fighting against instead of each other. It makes no sense to me, makes no sense. And it seems like it's like a rushing train. People are going in that direction. They're being deceived. They're climbing on different kinds of trains. They're climbing on this thing, and it's going to crash. Sooner or later, it's going to crash, because it's crazy. People glorifying these things, it's not going to end well for them. But I do believe that when people do things, it comes back and it gets them. If you live your life, you live your life, you try to do your best to be good and do good, it's going to come back to you that way. But if you're living your life, you're dividing people and you're trying to do this divide and conquer thing, that's going to come back too, because everybody, one of these days, you are going to face a judgment. And yes, I said a judgment, because everybody gonna leave this earth one of these days. You ain't gonna be here forever. Life is very short, and it's about time people start teaching people the right way. We don't teach hate. I never was taught hate. My family never taught hate, even though there were things done against my family, against me, even things done against me. I'm not gonna waste my time hating people who did wrong things to me. But you know what I do? I put it in the hands of God, because he can get back on people better than me. He knows all about the people who did stuff to me. He gets out, he judges them, and he get back at them better than I can. I leave these people alone. I may not say anything to them. Some of them don't even know that I know what they did. But what good is it going to be for me to turn around and get revenge on people who did this? Laying it in the hands of God is the best hand you could lay it in. You don't take revenge, and you don't go and try to harm somebody because you hate something that they believe in, or you just hate them, or they did something to you. I'm here to tell you that each and every person that have done something to me, it has come back on them, because I pray and God knows. And he knows a heart, and it is true. If something is hurting you, it's true. God do listen. He listens to it. And every person that did that to me, something turn around and happen. I don't have to lift a finger, because I know for a fact, I believe in the Psalms 91 that he gives his angels charge over me to keep me protected. And I believe that's happened in a lot of instances in my life, miracles that I'm not going to deny for anybody. You truly you truly belong to God, and you're truly his. You don't have anything to worry about. It's a waste of time to sit here and hate people. If they want to be mean and hateful, let them dwell among themselves together. Because what winds up happening to mean and hateful people, yeah, they wind up congregating together, but they also wind up destroying each other, because that's their way. Let them do that. Don't sit here and waste your time trying to get back at somebody who did something wicked to you. It turns back on them, because that's their way. That's their perfect judgment. I firmly believe that. So anyway, I just wanted to say something about this atmosphere that I'm seeing around. If people don't get it, they never will get it. And you know what? I cannot believe, and I won't even believe that God will have such people in his presence later on. When evil is stamped out of the world. I don't believe that these people are going to be in the presence of God. They're going to be with their own kind. And I don't mean by skin color. They're going to be with their own kind. He looks at the spirit and what's inside of the heart. They are going to be with their own kind. If they're wicked and hateful and vengeful, these people are going to be grouped together, and they're going to be together. And that's perfect judgment. God, he don't make mistakes. I really don't believe that. And I sure don't believe God is a liar. That's one thing he can't do, because he spoke the worlds into existence. I don't care who agrees with me. I don't care who disagrees with me. But I know that I'm speaking the truth. If God could speak the world in existence, anything he say, it does come to pass. So don't give me that baloney that he told you to go and harm somebody because of their skin tone. Because he told you to harm somebody because of their skin tone, because of their belief. I will not buy it, because you're lying on God. and don't even go teaching people, oh, because this person is black, this person is white, because of their skin tone, it tells me that they're Edom. Don't even come with me with that. You just might be Edom. Because you know why? The Edomites, even all of those people that did evil stuff against Israel, that's a spiritual thing. Don't you think that God don't look at the outside? He looks at the inside. He's going to go by what you're doing in your heart. And if your heart is not right, you're not following the commandments, you're not doing what he told you to do, you're going to answer to him for it. He didn't put you here to kill people. He put you here to help, be a help. He didn't put you here to destroy. If you are a son of the destroyer, that's what you're going to be. That's whose son you are. And you are none of his, not the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You're not. And he's not looking at how pretty you look at on the inside. He's looking at how your heart is. And if your heart is not right, you're not his. King David was a man after God's own heart. And if you don't have the heart of King David, you could forget it. Abraham, he was a father of faith. God looked at Abraham's heart. He seen his obedience. You nothing like Abraham. Those patriarchs were put here as an example to be here for you. Those stories, those Deborahs, those Rachels, all of those people were put here as an example. They set an example. And if you are not following that example, you could forget it. You could forget it. You could forget it. And no, I don't believe people with the sword because of people's outside appearance and their, you don't like because they don't look like you. How arrogant can you be? Pride goes before a fall, and that's where you're headed if that's the case. They don't maybe this religious politics things going on. They don't believe in God the same way you believe in God. Everybody, I haven't met a person, and they could be in the same religion. I have not met a person yet who believes the exact same things, and they could be in the same religion. I haven't met a person in any religion like that. Everybody, they got their own walk. We each have our own walk. We each have our own belief in God. Not everybody is identical in the same. It's not. I don't care what you belong to, but one thing is for certain. Everybody knows the ways of Abraham, and everybody knows the ways of the living God, what we are supposed to know about him. And he set the example before, even in the Garden of Eden. We know what we were supposed to do, and we know what we're not to do. And we know what's good, and we know what's evil. And if we follow the ways of evil, well, that's going to be the people who you are going to deserve to be around, regardless of anything. It's been some very, very bad stuff happening in the world, and it look like it's getting to a fever pitch. But I hope somebody out there some way get something out of what I'm saying. I hope you do. But anyways, hey, I said what I'm going to say. And all I can say is I hope people out there, they're totally not deceived, because a lot of bad stuff's going on. All I can say. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.